Hi everyone and welcome from the CloudStack Collaboration Conference 2025. I'm here with Taylor Greiner from US Signal. He's their Director of Innovation. Taylor, can you say a few words about yourself and US Signal?
I'm really focused on leading our R&D team for kind of the technical component of all new products that we bring to market. CloudStack is core to what we do, and so we're evaluating third parties, custom development, native support in the platform, ultimately to bring the best product that we can to our customers. US Signal as a whole, we're an IT services provider based out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, in the US. We have three core pillars as an organization. The first is our fiber network. We have 9,500 miles of fiber in the ground with another 1,500 under development. We have 16 data centers with 10 more under construction. That should put us close to our goal of 30 by 2027. And then we have our cloud services with OpenCloud being the foundational product, OpenCloud being built on CloudStack technology.
Share a little bit more about the US market, the US cloud market, and how do you position your service offering there?
So the US cloud market as a whole really depends on the segment of customer that you're looking at. It's no secret the hyperscalers are a large portion of that spend, and that tends to be where your tech startups and your large enterprises are really playing. US Signal, we really fit in kind of the larger SMB into emerging enterprise space. So, and heavily in the Midwest. So these are organizations that may be a little more conservative in their technological decisions. They're not on the bleeding edge. They wait for things to be kind of proven out and validated. And so, as a whole, the cloud offerings that US Signal brings to market, especially with how mature the CloudStack project is, really fit a lot of the needs for what they're looking for.
And talking for CloudStack, why did you choose it as your solution for orchestrating your cloud? We
evaluated a lot of options, right? We kind of knew early on, just through the rumor mill, that there were going to be changes in the VMware space based on the Broadcom acquisition, right? So our team got together and said, we need to come up with an alternative, talk to a lot of customers and said, what are you looking for? Once we had our set of criteria, we really started to evaluate a lot of different platforms, right? And kind of stacked them all up. And ultimately, we landed on CloudStack because of its ease of management, right? It is kind of a single monolith application that you update in kind of one single instance. It had a lot of the capabilities around multi-tenancy that we as a service provider needed to bring to the market in order to support our customers. A lot of the platforms didn't necessarily view multi-tenancy the same way that we viewed multi-tenancy. And so we really, broad across the landscape said CloudStack as a platform, and based on what we're seeing, other partners kind of internationally have success with, really meets our needs. And we are very happy that we made the decision, and we're going to continue to build on top of this and grow into the future.
Yeah, we're also happy because we believe that your success story is actually influencing a lot of other organizations in the US to switch to open source. And the CloudStack community has released a lot of new features this year. For the last 12 months, we had the GPU feature, we have the extension frameworks, we have ARM and multi-zone support. Which of these features you find most important for you as part of your business?
Well, I think they're all important. If I had to pick a single one that we're really excited about rolling out, I think is the GPU support within CloudStack. It's no secret, right, that AI is driving a lot of decisions that organizations are making, and with that, comes the data governance rules around where they run this, right? So. A lot of the training gets done in the hyperscalers. A lot of the AI right now is seen as only available in the hyperscalers. Open source, both in the CloudStack project, but also open source models in the AI space allow us to really bring these capabilities to a private cloud market with control through the CloudStack project, and we can bring these capabilities to our customers, and they can roll AI out in a very responsible, controlled fashion where they know that the data lives. We talk to customers every day. What do we do for an AI strategy? What do we do? And when GPU capability is live and we've got that in production within OpenCloud, it's going to be, we're excited about the growth.
Many organizations in the USA have used to use vendor technologies just because the fact that that's something which was a commodity for them. It was well proven in production. They have a single vendor to which they have relied. Do you think that this perception in the USA specifically is changing and that companies are now more open to adopt an open source solution and to trust actually the community behind it, not a single vendor?
I do believe this. I think the Broadcom acquisition made everybody, it put everybody up in arms, right? That's no secret. And I think they quickly realized we cannot be beholden to a single large vendor, right? If you take, you take a review of your landscape and you really start to look at where you're at risk, the closed source providers, those single vendors, it really becomes kind of an issue, right? And so I talk to customers every day that are saying, hey, how do we prevent this from happening again? And the answer is open source. I'm also a big believer that a lot of times the open source community also drives the best technical product. If you look at the internet, how much of that runs on Linux, right? Versus closed source environments. It's a massive number, right? And these enterprises, especially in the space that we play in, are really starting to see, hey, I can adopt this. It's not as much of a risk. There are organizations that can support it. I am safe in choosing these open source technologies.
Being tied to a single vendor obviously is the most expensive single point of failure which a company
Absolutely.
can have. Okay, on the more funny part, you're here for the first time at the CloudStack Collaboration Conference. How do you find the event and the community?
Yeah, this is my first time and it's been amazing. Everyone's been incredibly friendly. I think this is the first conference that I've been to probably ever where a large majority of the attendees, of the participants are technical, right? So the number of conversations that I've been able to have just in the hallways, the sessions that I've been able to attend, they're not just sales, marketing, 30-minute commercials. They're actual technical talks. You actually get to learn something. You get to have conversations. You can share what works, what doesn't work, and it's been amazing. I plan on being back next year if you'll have me.
Thank you for sure. For us as event organizers, the most important thing is to keep the audience busy with really nice technical talks and to help them improve their knowledge, share experience, learn something new, maybe solve their toughest challenges. And from the talks which you have heard, was there something interesting or something which you didn't know or something which helped you solve some challenges?
It's not as technical, which maybe is counter to what I just said, but it was really interesting to listen to CD LAN talk about how they roll out sovereign cloud. And it was amazing. I joked that you could have taken our logo and put it on their slides, and we could have given the pitch, right? And it was so validating in our decisions to see that other organizations in the community are on a similar path, which really is validating in the fact that we're probably not making the right choice every time, right? But we're making enough right choices similar to the community that it's going very well, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's...
For me personally, it's remarkable how aligned are the speakers this year. Like when you're watching the talk of somebody and the slides of the next speaker, everybody's bringing the same messaging about independence, availability, reliability of the technology, and everybody seems pretty aligned, which is great for us as a community. Thank you very much, Taylor, for being here today with us, and hope we see you here next year.
Absolutely. Thank you.